We are all experiencing an unprecedented time in our lives right now. The level of uncertainty, anxiety, and fear can be overpowering as we learn to navigate in our new world, all doing our part, whether it be social distancing, staying home, and abiding by federal guidelines. There are so many on the front lines who are battling a war against an invisible enemy. Being on the front lines can place a person's physical and mental health in jeopardy. A team of professionals has come together and created a program called Resilient Minds on the Front Lines to bring tools, knowledge, skills, and instruction to assist in a time of need. This team is dedicated to helping those who help others. On today's webcast, our guest speaker is Randy Richert, retired Air Force Colonel and FBI Academy Master Resiliency Instructor, teaching us about how to catch yourself catching yourself and how to rely on tools and techniques to live a more resilient life. Your hosts for today's webcasts are Master Resiliency Instructor Michael Pellegrino and Dr. Kate Tumulty-Felice, Professor of Education and Psychology and Coordinator of Education Programs.
Resilient Minds on the Front Lines was created to bring you 15 minutes of hope in a world turned upside down. The topics in our webcasts are all meant to help those on the front lines help themselves and others. Today, Randy shows us how activating events in our lives can lead us to spiral downward. But if we build on positivity, gratitude, and resiliency, we can spiral up because we have control to make a choice. Listen to Randy as he talks about how it is important to live in grit, not in barf. Be safe, be healthy, be resilient.
Hi, I'm Randy Richert again. Done a couple videos for you on resiliency, on Resilient Minds on the Front Lines. I'm a retired Air Force Colonel, did 28 years in the United States Air Force. I was also a firefighter, was a deputy sheriff, was a city marshal. And what I do now is I work with at-risk youth. I coach high school and college football. Most importantly, I'm a FBI National Academy Resiliency Instructor. That's what we're going to talk about today again. In a lot of our videos, you'll hear us talk about spirals. So I thought it was important to get into these spirals a little in depth, talk out a little bit about what we mean by that. It's not too hard to figure out when we say, hey, you spiral down, you spiral up, and that's essentially what the concept is. A little more in depth, I'll talk about that. When something bad happens to us, like if you go and watch the ABC video that we've done, we talk about activating events. Those activating events can be positive or they can be negative. That's the A in the ABC. Typically, we have an activating event. So think about it. You get up in the morning and you realize, I'm late. I had to get to work early and I didn't set my watch. That's an activating event. Now you're rushing around. Say you got kids, you had to get them ready for school before COVID-19, or even right now, you got to get them set up on their computers and stuff. They're getting tired of doing that. They don't want to do it. They don't want mom or dad to leave. They're giving you some, feedback on that. That's not very good. Second activating event. You get out into the car, you realize, I forgot my coffee. You go back inside, and now you know you're definitely late, so you're going to try to speed all the way to work. These are just activating event after activating event. We call that spiraling down. You get on the freeway, somebody cuts you off. Bam, there you go, another activating event. You get to the office, wasn't my day to go in. We're on COVID shifts now. You come to the door, the other crew's in. You completely forgot. Activating event. Might have been a good one, who knows. All these things, though, are activating events, and they can cause you to spiral down, what we like to say. We've talked about in other videos as well, broaden and build. So you understand about something and you build on it. If we build on positive things, it has an exponential effect on us, just like if we build negatively. If we just keep doing negatively, then we build ruts. The neuroplasticity in our brain builds negative ruts that get deeper and deeper, and they become defaults. Now, when something really isn't even that bad, you fall into that rut. You go to that default, and you just start more activating events, and you spiral down. Good news is, on the same side over here, if you can practice gratitude, practice resiliency, practice ABCs, some of these tools in our other videos, these things work upon each other. You work your Batman toolkit, you pull out what you need to do, and you're now building new neuroplasticity in your brain in a positive way, and you can have exponential increase going this way. Well, part of what we're trying to teach you to do too is, how do I stop this from happening? Well, you would you would use one of the tools. So you start having an activating event, and what we talk about is you have to catch yourself catching yourself. So I'm going to walk over here and just show you this. You want to catch yourself catching yourself. It's a term we just use in the program. And now back over here with gratitude and spirals. If I'm spiraling down, I want to catch myself catching myself. I now realize, oh, I'm in a spiral. Something bad happened. God just cut me off. I can go negative. Oh, I can do an ABC. Watch the other video, but essentially I can say, you know what? I have control over this. I am going to make a choice right now that I'm just going to back off, and I'm going to choose not to get mad at that. Hey, maybe that guy's in a hurry, whatever. Just let him go. It's all good. Just let him go. Okay? I can do a gratitude. I can think about, oh, you know, remember my cute little daughter when she used to come and swing set on that thing? And now it gets my mind off of the negative thing. And I can stop the negative spiral right there. Then we can use other tools or the same tool. You know what? On my whole drive to work, I'm going to do one gratitude after another. I'm going to think of all the blessings in my day. I'm going to think of all the positive things I can. And now we jump over to this spiral. So if we compared it to, like, say, being in school, we might have taught you maybe the pre-K or the kindergarten way of doing something, or if we used college, maybe the freshman level was, how do I stop myself? The sophomore level, high school or college metaphor, I jump over to here. Well, how do then I can start working my way up. Maybe I go to the junior level. I start using other techniques. I start doing some deep breathing. Might use another technique. Maybe I get to work and I've got an opportunity to do some meditation. I can do some yoga. I eat well. These things all come together and I can start spiraling up. 400 level, senior level, how do I take other people with me? See what we're saying here? How do I take care of myself? How do I take other people with me? The people that I work with, the people that are in my family, I can show gratitude to them. I can teach them about these techniques. We can talk in a positive way. I can catch myself catching myself saying and doing negative things, and I can convert those things into positive things, and now those people see me in a different way than me dragging them down. You know, the Debbie Downer thing? Hey, let's be the positive person in the room. And we know there's people that are like that. There's people that live in this. We can turn that off now. Who knows somebody that lives in bitterness, anger, resentment, and fear? I ask it rhetorically because we all know somebody that's there. Okay? We call that barf. We call that barf. You don't want to live in barf. No bitterness, no anger, no resentment, no fear. Don't know if I'm going to spell his name right, but the old Winnie the Pooh, that's the Eeyore character. Okay? Eeyore is always living in bitterness, anger, resentment, and fear. Bringing, oh me, oh my. It's a little rain cloud over him everywhere he goes. What we're trying to live in is grit. Okay? Put these words up for it. Guts, resiliency, intestinal fortitude. My old football coach in college used to say, Richert, get some more intestinal fortitude. Get some guts, get some grit. Tenacity, toughness. Love all these other words. You can look at them. They're the words that define grit, okay? What we're saying is the ability to bounce back. And if we stick with the Winnie the Pooh reference, you got Eeyore over there. Who am I going to write over here? I'm going to talk about Tigger, okay? Tigger's got his own darn song, okay? And he bounces around all day. Doesn't matter how far he falls, he bounces. That's what resiliency is, okay? And if you notice what Tigger's doing, he's taking everyone around him and lifting him up. What is Eeyore doing? Everyone around him dragging him down, and then people are trying to avoid him. So, see if you can think about this side of it, and when you catch yourself catching yourself doing one of these things, you're spiraling down. Use some of the other tools we've taught you. Think about the spirals. We've broadened your knowledge of the spirals now, and you understand what that is. Hey, I got to catch myself catching myself. I got to stop this right here. Okay. And now I can get control of myself. Take a couple of the good deep breaths. Breathe in. Hold it. Breathe out longer. okay? That's just one of the simple techniques we teach in a lot of the videos. Anything like that, and now get your brain thinking, okay, how do I overcome this new challenge? How do I take this on? How do I show grit? All right? So avoid the barf, go with the grit. Appreciate you watching. Stay strong, be safe, be resilient. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kate Tumulty-Felice. I want to thank Randy today for sharing with us a wealth of experience about resiliency and how to stop ourselves from, or catch ourselves from, a downward spiral and strengthen our ability to spiral up in a more positive direction, building on our own resiliency long term. When we build on these positive things, we improve our neuroplasticity overall, the actual structure of our brain. So if we consider our brain kind of like a forest full of trees, and we do something once and we create a very rough path through these trees, the more we take that path or build a neurological connection through our brain, the more worn it gets, and the more likely we are to find a easier pathway to do something. For example, if somebody learns music and is proficient in music, they already have some foundational pathway for math. There's a connection there. When we build healthy pathways in terms of how to deal with things, we strengthen them the more we use them. That would be the upward spiral. Conversely, when we fall into the ruts that Randy mentioned and we continue to follow those same pathways of how to deal with things and getting into what he referred to as barf, bitterness, anger, resentment, fear, we fall into those patterns over and over. And that affects us physically, spiritually, mentally, physiologically, socially in our relationships and behaviors with other people, which takes away some of the social support that helps us build our resiliency. But on the flip side, as Randy mentions, we can strengthen one or the other of those spirals, and we can also take someone with us. We can take someone with us on a downward spiral, but we can also use our grit to bounce back, to build our resiliency, and to take ourselves and those around us on that upward spiral. That helps us build new neurological connections, new synaptic connections in our brain, which reinforces a path to health and wellness. It allows our neuroplasticity, our brain, to actually be reshaped in a more positive and healthy and productive way. When we do that, we're better able to help ourselves and to help others. And that's what we're really all about here. Help yourself and help others. Thanks, Randy, for giving us tools to do that, to stop the downward spiral, to build our ability to spiral up, to catch ourselves, and to reshape our brain in a healthy and more positive way. This really helps us help others and help ourselves. Thanks for your time today. Be safe, be healthy, be resilient. Thanks.
During the COVID-19 pandemic crisis, your mental health is vital. Please see the resources listed here as well as on our website at onthefrontlines.us. You are not alone.